Hello everyone, today I would like to share a video on the driving experience of the Zeekr 007. I've had this car for about a week now and driven for over 300 kilometers. I've got some thoughts and ideas about this car, and now I would like to share them with you guys. First of all, I gotta say, this car's price really is responsible for its quality. The version I got is 4-wheel drive without the LiDAR and has the 100 kilowatt hour chilling battery with the 20-inch forged alloy wheels, all together with a price tag of 260,000 yuan. Altogether, including the insurance, the whole cost is around 267,000 yuan, roughly near $40,000. I think it's such a great deal. There are some points I would like to share with you guys. Let's talk about them one by one. Let's talk about its sound system. This is something I'm really satisfied with. I think many people, after they got their car, they haven't taken the protective film of the speaker. We can see that the metal covers, they all come with protective films. So if you got your new car and didn't remove the film, it cannot deliver the best performance. Even with the punctured holes on them, there's still a layer insulate between the speaker and the outside. It's not good for the delivery of the sound. I'm really satisfied with the sound system. Now I'm going to share one with it for you. When you get your car, you have to try the Dolby Atmos. We can launch Bilibili and we can search for the Dolby Atmos. Now let me play some of the clips for you guys. I have to say it's awesome, hands down. We need to turn down the volume a little bit.
Welcome to Dolby Atmos. Please put on your headphones. It's a new way to experience sound. Unlike stereo, which is limited to 2 audio channels, Dolby Atmos can manipulate individual sounds in 3D space to position sounds all around you. Sounds can move above you, far away, or right up close. Let's compare. This is stereo. And this is Dolby Atmos. Dolby Atmos can build worlds of sound to tell any story. It catches all the little details, puts you in the center of the action. Just like the real world. And transports you to faraway lands. Go inside the story with breakthrough sound. Dolby Atmos.
So here is the end of the demonstration. So what it makes me feel, I know the sound capturing on the phone, the recording quality is not that good. This car has 21 speakers, 7.4.1 channels, Dolby Atmos. It feels like you have bought a car that comes with a private movie theater. I think that is a really cool experience. Now let's talk about several other points. Let's talk about the window switches. You can feel when you touch the switch, it's very cold, which means they're made of metal. So it has a rather high quality feel. If we need to use it, actually it has a different logic from the regular switches we got used to. The regular window switches, it has 2 settings. However, this only has 1 setting. If I quickly touch it, the window will go down, and it will drop the window fully. And if I touch it again, it will go up completely. So how can I just make the window go up and down a little bit? So now here comes the difference between a short touch and a long touch. When we actually hold it, how much you press and how much the window goes up or down. If we just touch it for once, it will finish the whole procedure of going up or going down. So that's something we need to pay attention to. Another good point is that one day I parked my car on the roadside and I want to open the door. I press the open button, but it does not let me do that. The car has detected there is a coming vehicle from the left rear. So it basically prevents me from opening the door. And on the screen, it will show there's a coming car. I think that is a really sweet benefit. To talk about something I'm not really satisfied with, it is the windshield wiper. So now you can see it's 0, which means it's turned off, but usually it's at auto. However, I don't think the setting is really reasonable. Now you can see that I've already set the level of the sensitivity to the level 4 for the automatic windshield wiper. However, when it is actually raining, when the whole front window is covered by rain droplets, it still does not move at all. So for me, I think the sensor is not to monitor how much rain droplets are out there on the window, but there is a raindrop sensor on the wiper itself. We have to wait for the sensor to touch the rain droplets, then it will activate. So sometimes you will see the wiper goes all of a sudden, but actually the window is rather clean. There's no need for the move. So I think there is accidentally some rain droplets that activate the whole mechanism. But in that situation, there's no need for the windshield wiper to work. Now let's talk about the frunk. We actually can see the word 2 times on it, on the latch, which means you have to pull it twice, then it will work. So the first time when I use it, I pull it once and I walk to the front of the car and I was looking for a latch to open the frunk. And I find I couldn't open it. It turns out I have to pull it twice and then it will open. Another thing about the quality of the interior is that whatever you see in this car, there is a soft covering on all the panels. And then about the ambient light. I think it is good for the users to be able to adjust the colors, but I only choose to use the color of white because I find the other colors to be rather disturbing. And we can set the interior lighting to breathing mode, and we can see the white is here. I think this gives a most comfortable setting. Now let's talk about the wireless charging panels. So this detail a lot of users fail to notice. So we can see that there is a vent here. So if we just put our phone down, we need to make sure the whole phone is covered on the panel. We can see there is a dented part here, so the wind can blow to the whole surface of the back of the phone. If our phones do not cover the vent, then the wind is actually just blowing the bottom of the phone. And it doesn't help the cooling of the back of the phone that much. So when we are charging our phones, we need to make sure our phones cover the whole surface, covering the vents, so that it will create the desired wind area. This is something people need to pay attention to. And we can see in the middle there is a huge armrest container. I think a lot of things could be put here, which is much bigger than my last Cadillac ATS-L. Now let's talk about the leg support. However, I'm a little bit tall, 184 centimeters to be exactly. Even I set it to the longest setting, it still does not provide the desired support for my thighs. And there is an Easter egg of this car. Oh, now you see, the car has detected a rear car coming from the behind. It asked me to be careful, there's a car coming. There is a writing about this car, about where it is engineered. It says designed in Gothenburg, Sweden. If my memory is correct, the platform of this car, called the SEA platform. So the car manufacturer Saab, after its bankruptcy, the engineers of Saab joined Volvo, and after Volvo was bought by Geely, and they have designed and developed the SEA platform. So that's what I think the engineered or designed in Gutenberg means. So in general, this car really depends on how you drive it. My personal favorite way of driving settings, especially when I'm alone in the car, I will set the region braking to the level of high, which is very similar to the single pedal driving of the Tesla, but it's not as strong as the Tesla. The region braking is about 70 or 80% of a Tesla Model 3. So when I'm driving alone without my family in the car, I would like to set the acceleration to sport. When in this setting, this car goes really fast, probably faster than over 95% of the cars on the street, with over 640 horsepower and 0 to 100 in 3.5 seconds. And it is the kind of car that accelerates still very fast after 100 km an hour. I've seen other people who have done tests about this car on Bilibili. With a 90% charge of the battery, this car goes in a quarter mile for 11.05 seconds, which is faster than the Audi e-tron RS GT. So it's actually a really fast car. And I like to set the steering mode into comfort. The sport mode is too heavy, and the suspension is in comfort mode too. I can talk about the suspension. When in comfort mode, when we roll over the zebra crossings, you don't see it's very nuanced for these tiny little bumps. But if we change the suspension into sport mode, it reminds me of my old Cadillac ATS with really firm suspensions. All these tiny little details and bumps on the road are crystal clear. And for the stopping mode, I'd like to set it to keep, which is the same as Tesla. If you lift up your pedal, the car will stop. And for those who have got used to internal combustion engine cars, you can set it to slide mode, so it will slowly go even after you lift up your foot from the gas pedal. What I really like about this car is that it puts all the freedom of choices in the hands of the user, and different users can choose their personal favorite settings when they drive. Now I'm going to talk about the two hidden buttons behind the steering wheel. The right one behind the steering wheel, and there's one behind the steering wheel on the left. And here's is my current setting. The right button I would like to change and set the acceleration mode. I can change the settings from comfort to standard and to sport, which is very convenient to switch. However, according to a clear logic on the left, it should allow me to change the braking mode, like the level of region braking. However, the left button doesn't allow you to do that. These are the list of the left button allows you to change. It doesn't have anything to do with braking, which is not a very suitable logic setting for the buttons. Now I would like to talk about the ACC, which is to follow your front car automatically. My old Cadillac ATS doesn't have any adaptive cruise control function, which is basically to follow the speed you have set. My father-in-law drives a Volvo S90, and its ACC function for me is much braver than this car. When this car is in ACC mode, it's rather timid. When there is a car in front, it will brake quite early, especially when the car in front has just a tiny bit of the line a little bit close to you. It will brake immediately. For me, this car doesn't have enough confidence about itself. This is something I hope the later OTAs can fix. Personally, I didn't opt for the LiDAR version because I really love driving myself. Actually, you can see on the left rear window of this car, you can see this Nürburgring sticker. If you see this Nürburgring sticker, you would know it's my car. If you guys are interested, I'm free for a conversation and having a cup of coffee. So far, I feel pretty satisfied with this car. If I happen to find any interesting discoveries in the later use of this car, I would like to share with you guys Thank you. You guys have a great day.